Hello, boys. This is Dr. Infinity. Welcome back to White Pill Media.
Well, come on, men. 3 cheers for her grace. Hip, hip.
Hooray! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
This week, I'm going to be talking about Rob Roy. Rob Roy is a drama slash romance, I guess. It's a period piece set in the 1700s in Scotland. This is right after the Act of Union, which brought together Scotland and England into one kingdom. And this was kind of a bad period if you weren't very wealthy, because this was sort of the beginning of the erosion of the clan system for like the Highlands. I don't know too much about it. I just know it got really shitty for a lot of Scottish people, and that's why we had a bunch of like Scots come to America and like Canada and Australia and all that. But anyway, this is a really good movie. It's definitely a recommendation, so check it out if you haven't seen it. I'm just going to get right in with spoilers and everything. We have a really good cast. You know, we have Liam Neeson, we have John Hurt, we have Tim Roth, Brian Cox. Brian Cox is always great. So we're in the Highlands. It's 1713, and yeah, I know a little bit about this time period. Like, I know a little bit about, like, the Jacobites and the Williamites, and not too much because I was doing some research on, like, the Fly of the Geese and, like, their involvement with, like, the Jacobites, and I think it's Bonnie Prince Charlie, or I don't know. I don't really know. But anyway, Rob Roy and his clan, they are after some cattle thieves, right? And another thing about this movie, great shots. Just landscapes are beautiful. It's just wonderful. Most of the movie, if not all of it, was shot in Scotland, in parts of like the Highlands, and like yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true, and like it looks great. So they're after some cattle thieves, you know, and we have these Scottish cows that they're after. I've always liked how those looked, you know. They're just kind of like woolly cows. I think they're cool, and it reminds me a bit of beefalo. You know, if you don't know what beefalo is, you know, a lot of guys are like, oh, I'm going to invest in Bitcoin. I'm going to invest in real estate. No. That's all bullshit. Beefalo is the Bitcoin of livestock. I'm talking cash money, you know. Low risk, high return, profit. Cattle, my friend. Cattle. Beefalo have the strength of both animals and the weaknesses of neither. This is an investment opportunity. As the stock market goes down, as things turn shitty, you can have cows. Guess what? When things go bad and prices at the grocery stores become ridiculous, you can't eat your bonds. You can eat your beefalo, though. But anyway, I just like how those cows look. Rob Roy is an honorable man. You know, he's willing to let the thieves go, except for one of them. He has to fight one of them, and he kills him. But when we get back to their village, you know, you can see that their clan is really struggling and barely getting by, despite all their work to like protect cattle. And this is just the kind of the situation that they're in. I think what was going on was a lot of like the rich nobles in Scotland were really excited for the Act of Union because it meant more money for them. And when they did, but like the average like Scottish person was against it. And then when it went through, they started pushing like policies and like land reforms which eroded like the clans and forced them like out of territories so that they would have like more room to like raise cattle and like sheep and like higher profits for them, right? But it's very bad for the average person. And we get introduced to our main bad guys. You know, we have Montrose, we have Cunningham, and who is it? Killern? Or not yet Killern. But, you know, we have John Hurt and them, and Tim Roth. They're watching these fights, and they're just very like pompous, very, I guess, effeminate is the right word. And, you know, they joke about having sex with, like, young boys. And I'm like, is this a little, like, cliche, you know, rich people talking about wanting to have sex with kids? But then I thought, you know, cliches exist for a reason. And it's probably not, like, too insane to believe that the rich people back then are probably similar to some rich people we have now. So, I don't know. I thought it was fine, I guess. Things look tough for Clan McGregor. But we have this nice shot with Roy in bed with his wife, not in like a sexualized way, but it's just sweet. It's just romantic. That's something that's really missing from like a lot of modern movies. We could get into what kind of effect that's having on the population, psychologically. But that's probably another video. But it's just nice. They love each other, right? Oh, we have this good scene where it's like the whole family, and Rob's talking to his wife about this plan to like borrow some money to get a herd of cattle so they can put some money away so that they're able to like take care of their people. And he tells his son about honor. Great shot. Just a lot of shots are just fantastic.
Honor is what no man can give you, and none can take away. Honor is a man's gift to himself.
Do women have it?
Women are the heart of honor, and we cherish and protect it in them.
So he ends up borrowing money from Montrose, and there's this plot with his two underlings, Montrose's underlings, Cunningham and Killern, to steal the money and then just frame MacGregor. And that's what happens. And now, since they put their land up, they're going to lose everything. But Montrose has this rival, the Duke of Argyll, and he's a Jacobite. So I guess that means, I don't know if it's necessarily that he has to be a Catholic to be a Jacobite, but I assume he probably is like a secret Catholic. But at least he wants the old monarchy restored, right? And Montrose wants him to speak against him, but he can't. It's an inhonorable action. He can't take it, even though Argyll means nothing to him, and this would solve all of his problems here and now, he still can't do it. That's who he is, and he's a great guy. And it's just good. I think maybe the real MacGregor was a little more morally gray in some instances, potentially. This is still, I like the movie for what it is, right? I like the movie for what it is. And then MacGregor has to flee to avoid jail, and, there's no way to pay him back. Like the scene where Cunningham is setting out to go hunt down MacGregor, and it's just Montrose under an umbrella. It's just, it's just nice. It's just amusing. MacGregor has, said goodbye to his family, and he has to go out in the Highlands because he thinks that since the beef is between Montrose and himself, that his family's going to be off limits, but that's not the case because we have Cunningham show up. And he's pretty evil. Maybe you could say he's a little too cartoony evil, maybe a little too much the unbelievable direction, but he's pretty evil. He shoots a dog, so he's a bad guy. And they end up burning down the house, and Cunningham rapes his wife Mary, and it's just, it's pretty horrific. Now the stakes are a bit higher, where the stakes are already high with MacGregor and them losing their land, and now it's a personal attack against his family, right? And we have the shot of Mary standing on the shore, and we have the British rowing away in their boat. And it was pretty bad stuff just happened in the scene before, but it's still a really great, powerful shot. Cunningham has also gotten a maid pregnant, and he wants her to get an abortion. She won't go through with it because I think it's just too late, and I don't think she wants to get one. And then the maid ends up hanging herself. I think her name was Betty. We have another little twist to it, or a little more turn, where it's Mary is pregnant now, and she's not sure if the child is Rob Roy's or if it is from Cunningham. So it adds another dimension to it, what would Rob Roy do if he was confronted with this? But ultimately, he can't just abandon his wife or throw his wife out regardless of the kid. So he does the honorable thing there. They've been attacking and harassing Montrose and just stopping him from collecting his rents and all that. And it's when times are bad, when things are really, really bad, you still have the clan to back you up. You have this nice shot at night where it's all of them are gathered together, and it's worst case scenario, you have a high trust society that's going to back you. You have family ties with probably a good amount of these people, and they're gonna, hey, someone's attacking one of us, we're all jumping in. And I think that's something that just, back then, but definitely now, just trying to erode the family system and the family unit, so you have no one to rely on, so the government can just attack everyone on an individual level, and you feel you can't really reach out to people. But that's another video for another time. MacGregor and some of his men get in fights with Cunningham and those guys. That he ends up getting captured, and he does the Star Wars thing on Hoth. It was really gross. But there's this dead cow near a river, and he just cuts it open and crawls inside its belly. It's fucking disgusting. If that was me, I would tell him just to fucking hang me. I'd be like, yeah, here I am. Whatever, I'm not getting in the fucking cow. We have a duel at the end because Argyle hears from his wife Mary that he defended Argyle and he wasn't going to join in Montrose and bearing false witness against him. So Argyle arranges a duel between McGregor and Cunningham, and it's a nice duel, but it's like he's kind of outmatched here, right? He's kind of unmatched, but it's a cool way to kill him. Cunningham's just being he's just showing off a bit, and if he just went for the kill, it would have been fine. And McGregor ends up grabbing his sword with his hand, and it's sweet, and then slash. Got him, dead. Cool stuff. We have a nice image of him just running towards his family at the end, and it's like, yeah, it's a nice movie. It's just, I think it was a little strange for me seeing like such a like masculine and honorable character, and it's just being portrayed at straight face. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it feels like everything has to be like subverted or like quirky or like something, but it's just, here's a good man and he's good. It's not attempting to like break him down or humiliate him or just annihilate him and his like worldview, right? So I was a little taken aback by like, yeah, just the goodness of them and everything. I was kind of wondering, like, is it just because we're so unhonorable, we're so like subverted and like broken, that it just seems odd and unrealistic that someone like this could exist? Now, it does seem like the real guy was a little more morally gray in some instances, but probably still like a good man, like better than most, especially in more modern times. It was a really good movie. I liked it a lot. I do like these drama, like romance period stuffs. I think there's something like a TV show based around this time period. I think it's called like Outlander. I think women really like it, but I was like, I think this was a few years ago, but I was visiting my parents and like my mom was like watching Outlander, but there's like that one guy from like The Terror in Rome, and there's some dude in like a kilt, and I don't really want to talk about the scene, but he had him like captured or something. And I don't know, women like that stuff. Women like that stuff. And I don't fucking get it. That's really gross and weird. But anyways, we're not going to talk about that. I think probably in a few weeks I'm going to have a video on the Palisars. It's like a 26-episode TV show. I've watched episode 1 and I'm interested enough to keep going. And that's going to be like another period piece. But that's going to be a few weeks away. Next week, I'm probably going to have a review on Rain Man, because I saw it for the first time about a week ago, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. And why did I put this off? So I'll have that. I'm probably going to have another indie book, Welcome to the Troth video. Anyways, that's it. Rob Roy's good. And thanks for watching. Dr. Infinity out.
Wicked woman! Wickedness! What's this? Augustus will